How's it going, everybody? My name is Lim, and today we are looking at Bunker Punks. Now, usually when I do these sort of Let's Plays of these small indie titles, I'll generally record and do the commentary at the same time. But today we're doing it a little bit differently, because as I started the recording, it was all going great. I was doing the commentary and everything, and then I got to a quite difficult bit, and I kind of got a bit lost, and I sort of forgot that I was supposed to be doing the YouTubes, and I may have got distracted and stopped talking for about 3 minutes. So we're going to do it a little bit different today, and we're going to record the vocals afterwards. The vocals, I should say, commentary. We're going to do afterwards, and do it this way around. So yeah, this is Bunker Punks. It's fucking awesome. I'll start right from the beginning and say it's an amazing game, and if this kind of gameplay of fast-paced, old-school, first-person shooting is your kind of thing, then this is absolutely something you should be considering picking up. It's in early access, so there's still more work they're going to do. They said the developer, which is... Let me bring this up. Developer... Ninja Robot Dinosaur, which, I mean, that's quite a cool name for a dev studio, right? They say they're going to be out by the start of 2017, so it's not going to be in early access for long. But already at the state that the game is in now, there's already quite a lot of content already. So as you can see from the gameplay, the general gist is it's very much in the vein of old school Doom, where you have to work your way around the levels, which are procedurally generated. You have to find the elevator to get to the next level. Each level has a set amount of floors, which you work your way up through. Most of the early levels have either 2 or 3. And so you're just working your way around the rooms, trying to find upgrades, trying to find weapons, clearing out your enemies, trying not to get your head blown off, finding the elevators to get to the next level. It's very, very high octane, very fast paced. You see these little dudes who are shooting me now. Like, each of the enemies have different abilities. These guys, if they get too close, they'll blow up on you. Like, they'll do sort of area damage, and there's the little flowing dudes that strafe and kind of pot shot at you from a distance. They're probably the most annoying, because especially with the type of class I went with, which was shotgun, which trying all of the weapons, shotguns seem to be the most fun for me. That's generally my go-to with most FPSs. I played the Doom open beta today, and the shotgun, as a side note, is fucking awesome. Yeah, so that was the first run of the game. So what I'm showing you here is kind of like the overworld. So you go through these different missions to collect loot and such, and the end goal is you're collecting resources, which you can see up in the top corner there, to build your base. Now you can expand as the game progresses. You can expand your base, and you get these different little I guess you call them bunker rooms, which give you different upgrades for your characters. So you get ones like you get upgrades to the amount of damage you can do with certain types of weapons. Like you get character buffs like more health, and there's a really useful one where you get more you get health that regens at the start of each floor. Once you hit the elevator, you'll get, say, 10 health back, which is really good because this game is not easy by any stretch. Because of the procedurally generated nature of it, there's plenty of times where you'll go into a room, you'll go around a corner, and there'll be shit tons of enemies, and you'll suddenly drop a load of health. And health is a finite resource in the game. Like, you don't find it super regularly, so you do have to be careful and sort of tactical about how you clear rooms. You can't just go guns blazing, although that's kind of my preferred playstyle. You do have to be quite careful in how you handle each room. Take your time. And sometimes sort of pop out from corners and stuff. So yeah, this is the second run. The little briefcases that you see on the ground, I think what they call them is tech, and I think it's tech points, and that's one of the resources you use to upgrade your characters and such. As you can also see as I wander around, you get different items, stuff like flak jackets, you get roller skates and stuff, and they all provide different buffs to your character. Like some of them have positives and negatives. Like you get stuff which has they'll give you sort of more speed, but you're a bit more squishy, and you take damage a little easier, and you might have a buff which gives you more damage with a shotgun but less with a pistol, because you have a finite amount of ammo and you can run out. There's been a couple of runs where I've run out of ammo. The run that you're seeing now, it was actually quite a lot. Like the loot seems to be quite randomly dropped, so you can have runs where you just run out and you're like, fuck, I'm gonna have to use something else. So if you put all your points into shotguns, run out, and now you've got to use pistols, it can sometimes get a bit squishy. Yeah, that dude is a little sort of like flying satellite dish of death. I don't know. I don't really know what that was, to be honest. But the game it advertises itself as having roguelike elements. It's one of the sort of buzzwords of games, like these little indie games at the minute. And what that basically means is that you recruit these punks, which are your characters, and once it dies, it's dead. It's permadeath. So once you've lost that character, you've lost it for good. And so as you can recruit extra characters throughout the game. But if you start off with 2, and if both of those die, that's it. You have to start a new game. So I mean, again, it adds a little bit to the tension that you have to be careful, because if you die, you're dead. So I guess the characters basically act as your life system, because you can equip any character with any weapon that you want. Like, you'll have starting weapons, like the female character starts with a pistol and such. But, you find stuff out on the field which you can use. But that's where I guess the roguelike elements come from, and the procedurally generated side of it means that it can get hairy sometimes. Like the run that I'm recording for you guys now is actually one of the best runs I've done. Like, one of the furthest I've got. I've died quite a few times. It takes a bit of getting used to because of the sort of the twitchy nature of it.
Don't mess with Texas.
So here we go. We're now heading into another one, another 2-floor one. So as I said, it's in early access, and they are talking about adding new areas. As you notice, most of these are sort of like science lab, research facility type locales, but they're talking about adding new different styles of areas and such. But to me, I don't think that the kind of the map, like, trying to think of what word I want to use for it, but like the map design is far more important than kind of the background of us being in a science lab or whatever. It's about the sort of second to second gameplay. This game is. It's a beautiful game. Like the retro pixel art, style of the graphics are amazing, but it's not what it's about for me. It's all about the gameplay, and that's what this game does so well. This was one of the sort of rougher bits. This room had rather a lot of enemies. Them aliens are quite squishy. They'll take a fair squishy, bullet spongy. They'll take quite a lot of hits and keep on going. But we managed to get through with about half health. The first sort of upgrade I went with was to upgrade our max health, because you'll find, especially early on, you'll soon your health soon disappears, and you'll be going from hit to hit, just hoping nothing hits you, because one hit will kill you, sort of thing. But this run was one of the best I've recorded, so I thought this is the one I'd show you. But it got tense in places. So as you can see with each of these rooms, like, as you get to the room where the elevator is in, most rooms you can leave and not actually clear out. But the elevator room, you do have to clear out all of the enemies before you can move on. So if you are on low health, that can be a bit difficult. Yeah, this was Bunker Punks. It's a small indie title, roguelike first-person pixel art shooter. It's just overall really good, and if you're liking what you see, it's definitely worth picking up, because it's a lot of fun to play. My name is Lim. Hope you've enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed what you saw, please consider subscribing so you can be caught up for every time I upload a new video, which is pretty regularly. But thanks again for hanging out, and I will see you guys soon.